Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Sunday Night Mixed Media Backgrounds. I've got a bunch of sprays, I've got some modeling paste, and one of these bad boys. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I am going to start off with the packaging technique, which I don't use packaging for. I like to use an acrylic block, especially this little circle one from Catherine Pooler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray each of my sprays, then I am going to put a little water on it, flip it over, and then just do a little tap, tap, tap all over the layout. So what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of overlap, but not so much that the colors start muddling together. I am using different brands and different types of sprays. I've got some gloss sprays, some distress, I got some chroma mists, all of the things. So doing this is hopefully going to not get everything all muddled up and kind of yucky. I'm going with a blue and green palette just because I like these colors. They are pretty. And you know, if you're gonna mess around with mixed media stuff and you're gonna get messy and you're going to stain your hands blue, which you'll see them in a minute, they get quite blue, you might as well do it with stuff that you like, right? No sense of doing it with colors that you're not a fan of, because what is the fun in that, right? Then you're gonna have colors that you don't like and your hands will be a mess and it'll be a whole travesty, let me tell you. But as you can see, my hands are feeling that teal. So I am going to just keep doing this until I get a good amount of coverage on here. Don't want a whole heck of a lot of white showing through. I will say that I liked the way that this background turned out so much. I hesitated doing the second part of this because I really liked the way the colors laid down on top of each other. I like the ratio of the greens and the blues. I liked the placement of it. I was thinking to myself, man, Sandy, you could put some modeling paste down on here and you could screw this up. I don't think I screwed it up though. I think it turned out pretty good in the end. So there is that. So as you can see, I'm just kind of adding more and more color in the different areas just to get a good amount of that white covered up. I want to use this as a full background. Maybe I might trim off 1/4 of an inch on two sides and lay this bad boy down on a colored piece of cardstock. Maybe, I'm not exactly sure yet. We'll have to see how it turns out when it is dry. I have no plans for this layout. Like, I don't have anything in particular that I'm thinking, oh yeah, this will be a great layout for that. I go back and forth on whether or not I like that strategy more than making a background for a layout that I have in mind. Sometimes it's just fun just to play with product, and sometimes it is fun to have a goal in mind. This was definitely a play with product kind of moment. Now, I was toying with the idea of doing a stencil on top of this, but you guys know if your paper is wet and warpy and you put a stencil on top of it and you're putting more wet stuff on, you're going to get a lot of stencil bleed. So I took this paper towel and I was just kind of blotting this dry. The paper is still wet, but there isn't any liquid sitting on the top of it. Ultimately, I decided against a stencil, which is weird for me, I know, but I am going to pop open this can, or this is not a can, this jar of modeling paste, and of course, it is giving me the business trying to get it open. I eventually do get it open, and then what had happened was there was a line of modeling paste around the top edge that had dried up. So I just went ahead and scooped that off of there and threw that in the trash, which you're not seeing any of this. This was all off camera. It's like, come back, Sandy, get back here and do this layout. All right, so the modeling paste is back down. I'm going to use one of my silicone brushes right here. You guys know I love these things. what I'm going to do is just grab one of the brushes, and then, see, this is me debating on whether or not I even want to put modeling paste down on top of this because I really like the way this background looks. But I decide that I am, and that this is where it needs to go. What I'm going to do is just do a line of modeling paste of a decent thickness, not stupid thick, but not so thin either. Like, you're not going to be able to see through the modeling paste to the paper. And that's because I'm going to be using that little tool over there on the right hand side. So I am going to go ahead and get this done. I'm also going to spray just a tiny little bit of water over top of the modeling paste so that I can get it to kind of spread smoothly and evenly. And I am trying not to get any of the brush marks on there, like the little edgy ones. I don't know why I'm so concerned with it being smooth, because I am going to put a texture into it. So this might have been a little bit of stress on my mind that I didn't need to have there, because hello, I'm texturizing it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that down. And then I'm just eyeballing how wide it's going to be, kind of the width of the little marking tool that I'm going to use. Now, I did have the option to do the one where the lines go from thicker to thinner. Ultimately, I decided not to do that. I decided to go with the lines that were even. And then once that gets done, I'm just going to take that tool, start up at the top, and just evenly apply the pressure all the way down. And then, as you can see, I kind of have like these little raised lines going on here. So basically, I am creating the portion of the layout where either the photo is going to rest, if I decide to do it horizontal, or if I keep it vertical, this will be the focus. Now, I decided that I needed to do a little bit of something more to this. I thought that the white lines were just a little bit boring. So I'm taking my sprays, and then I'm taking the sprays, spraying across that modeling paste, and then I'm taking water and spraying it so that the spray moves down the modeling paste. And what I'm going to do is just alternate colors on here. And if it oversprays and gets on the background portion that I did the acrylic block technique, because I don't use packaging, it's not a travesty or anything like that, you guys, because it's just going to blend in with it. I decided to add a little bit of that darker color up at the top too, just to give it a little bit more weight up there. I am letting the stuff just trail down that modeling paste right now. And then once that trails down enough, I'm going to blot it with the paper towel, and then I'm going to wipe off all of that on my mixed media mat right here. And then I'm going to let that paper lay down there and dry. So I am stupid excited for this to dry and to actually create a layout with it. Let me know in the comments below if you've done anything like this on your backgrounds. I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.